Hello, welcome to another episode of Heathenry. I'm your host, Thorin Hensley, Heathen King himself. Just me today. Uh, yeah, slightly intoxicated, so should be a banger. uh, no, I got a lot of stuff going on. Um, a lot of stuff on the horizon. So I'm a little sick too. I'm not crying because men don't cry, except they do. That's a big misconception, isn't it? That men don't cry. I really am. I really am not crying, but I mean, we'll shed some light on that. That men don't cry. Like, whoever put it in, like the book or the guidelines that men weren't allowed to cry. You know, I I had two very dominant father figures growing up. My grandpa and my stepdad. And I never ever hardly seen those two motherfuckers cry. Like, I think the first time I ever seen my stepdad cry was after he beat the piss out of my mom. That's not really funny, but like it's just kind of like circumstantial kind of thing. Uh, he was just like, like, sorry, I whooped your mom's ass. I was like, all right. Like, I don't know what to say back to that, but hell yeah. I mean, I was like 7, but whatever. And my grandpa, first time I ever saw him cry, and that was a hard motherfucker. If anybody knows me personally and knows my grandpa, he was a hard motherfucker. Like old school, like shoot first, ask questions later, and not using that as the metaphor. Like, cuz it was wild. Uh, First time I ever seen him cry was my great grandpa's funeral, which is odd because I sat through probably 4 or 5 more funerals in life with Papaw. And he never cried at anybody else's funeral. He's always like happy and cutting jokes and shit, which I guess he was just trying to make everybody else there happy. So I guess I understand that. Uh, Me personally, I wouldn't. I don't have the balls to cut jokes at funerals. Um, guess I won't live up to the legend of my grandpa. Oh my God, these killer Millers are taking a toll on your boy. Huh. Anyways, but yeah, it's weird. We live in a society nowadays where men have a certain expectation, and it's really not fair. Like, it's not like you are expected to get a job, provide for a family, and if you don't have a family, provide for your significant other. And if you don't, even if your significant other is super cool, like, it's okay, we can be broke together. Like, I've met some people like that. I'm not saying that they're not out there, but what I am saying is like the social cue is just like, oh, you don't have a job, oh, you're not making $20 an hour, oh, you're a failure, and that's the farthest thing from the truth. Everybody grinds. Everybody everybody has a starting point. If that makes any sense. My first job was a fucking factory job in up in Jackson, making those little green fucking meals. You know what I'm talking about? The like Michelini's meals. They've changed their name like 4 or 5 fucking times because of some squirrely shit I can't get into because I'll probably get sued. But you know what I'm talking about. The ones you get from fucking Walmart. You just peel the top, slap them bitches in the microwave, and your kids are Gucci. Yeah, those ones. That was my first job, dude. And I was like, hell yeah, I don't ever want to do this again. So the whole, like, people, I mean, I see both sides of the sword where people are like, oh yeah, you shouldn't be 45 years old working at McDonald's. I get that. I understand. But everybody's life has certain circumstances that they can't control. Or maybe they could control and they just made a bad decision. We've all made bad decisions. You know, Hell, I'm sure somewhere in Walmart right now, my picture's still up there for trying to steal Dragon Ball Z DVDs, dude. And I'm not proud of that, but I didn't let that define me. You know, there's still people I walk into Walmart and they're like, I ain't stealing no more Dragon Ball Z DVDs. I'll pirate them off the internet webs because I'm an adult. You know what I'm saying? Shit just ain't the same. But anyways, yeah, you can definitely pirate Dragon Ball Z DVDs off the internet. Hell, YouTube got like most of them on there for free. My dumbass out here trying to steal them at 17. Well, no, I was 18. Yeah, because I went to jail. Like 100% went to jail. You want to talk about embarrassing, bruh? Imagine sitting in a court room full of like real criminals, like hardcore motherfuckers. Like one dude had an arson. This one bitch had a sodomy, which I don't even know how the fuck that's possible. At least from my definition of sodomy. This other dude was in there for assault, and then this judge who was illiterate as fuck. If you're watching this, judge, you are illiterate as fuck. I know what I said. He said, "Mr. Hensley, please report to the podium." My dumbass walked up there, bro. I looked back, and my grandpa was with me. He was just shaking his head because he knew I'm a fucking retard. But cuz said, "You're charged with 1 count petty theft, 1 box set DBZ Dragon Ball season." I'm like, cuz he's not even saying it right. Crushed me, and I heard some fucking cute chick behind me giggling. I'm like, shut up, bitch. She was trying to steal fucking fake earrings, bro. At least I'm trying to steal something to better myself. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's a feeling I won't ever forget, bro. Like, that was weird. I've been to court before that, but I was an adolescent. Uh, I I got into a fight at a bar at 16, and yeah, I had to go to court. I got put in jail for assault, um, which was whack because like I definitely didn't start that fight. I'm just like fucking Great White Hope out here, bruh. And I may have found myself in a bad spot of town, and these boys were not playing any games. Uh, so it was real weird whenever they figured out I was 16 too. They were like, because I starched the fuck out of all three of them. And the judge, it was kind of fucked up because the judge was even like, so let me get this straight. A 16-year-old walks into a bar, and I was like, ha, that's a joke. But I mean, that's not a joke. That's really what he said. I mean, 100%. I don't remember the judge's name, but New Boston Circuit Court, whatever. Moving on. Yeah, Cuz hit me with that, and he looked at these three guys. There was three dudes, and they're all like in their mid-30s, and the old like one of them were like he tried to be real professional about it. And he was like, "Your Honor, in our defense, we did not know that he was a child. We did not know he's 16 years old." And the judge hit him back with the dirtiest, coldest shit. He's like, "Okay, yeah, I understand that." He's like, "But is there an age limit for assault?" And they were like, "Oh." I fucking giggled. I giggled hard as fuck, bro. My lawyer like fucking nudged me real hard. I almost stood on him right there for that. But yeah, all the charges were dropped and shit, and it was real weird because like 3 30-year-old dudes got smoked by a fucking 16-year-old with titties because I had titties at the time. I mean, I have titties now, but I've been working out recently, trying to get not titties. So trying to get hot. I'm single, so I'm not really on the market, but I am on the market if it makes any sense. Um, it's weird being in a relationship for so long and then not being in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like I was in an 11-year relationship. Like I had it all figured out, dude. Like I had a house, a good career, 3 kids, a wife, and we had been together since high school. It was like one of those storybook type shits, like you married your high school sweetheart and shit. But it was not, bruh. Like it was not. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say anything bad about her because she's a good person, and I do still care a lot about her because obviously she gave me the best gift that anybody can give me, and that's my kids and stuff. I ain't trying to be sappy or nothing right now, but I mean she's a bitch for real, but I still love her, and I still care very much about her a lot. But you know, I thought I had everything figured out, bruh, and I didn't, and that just goes to show you, bro. People wake up every day with different feelings, and I'm not saying don't get attached to your loved ones, especially like your wives or husbands for that matter. But you always gotta be careful, man. Like the worst ones are the blind sides. Those suck. I've been blindsided before. This one was a little different. It was just kind of like whenever it's gonna happen type shit. Like I said, I ain't gonna say nothing bad about her because she's a good girl. She's a good person. She's a sweetheart. She just got some shit going on, you know. And I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm perfect, bro. I'm a fucking menace to society, if you know me. But I wish her the best. Kinda. I really do, though. That's the only thing a single dad can wish their ex-wives. You know, like I hope you don't fuck up again. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't necessarily consider myself a fuck up. I'm still fairly successful. I got a big house, got multiple cars, motorcycles, all kinds of cool shit. Got this big ass fucking gym, you know, public figure, all that good shit. You know, don't mean anything at the end of the fucking day. I still go home alone, but that's just because I got some real high standards. But anyways, what was I fucking saying? Yeah, you know, don't get. I don't want to say don't get too attached to somebody, but you know, you think you know somebody, and people can always surprise you. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a couple times, point in time in my relationship where I got surprised. I got completely blindsided. I got ear holed from my football players out there. I got absolutely fucked up. You know, didn't see some shit coming. Uh, and it was rough, bro. It was hard to battle back from. And I did, in a sense. I let a lot of shit go when I should have been in prison for. I should have. Let me say this correctly here for Spotify. I could have made some very, very bad mistakes that would have in turn taken my freedom. Put it that way. There's a whole family of people very lucky that I didn't act the fuck out. That's all I'm going to say. I'll leave it at that. If you know me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you are who I'm talking about, shit ain't still sweet. I still fucking hate you, and I know where you live too. Anyways, moving on. But yeah, you just don't get too comfortable with people, bro, because you never really know what someone's real intentions are. You know what I'm saying? People wake up every day with different intentions. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird because, and I ain't trying to target nobody right now, but it's mainly women. From my personal experience, it's mainly women. Because dudes, bro, dudes are simple, bro. We'll go to work fucking 10, 12 hours a day, come home. All we want is to really eat, relax. We might want some butt later on in life, or later on in the evening, not in life. Uh, we're super simple, bro. And then on the receiving end of just that, you know, we'll cuddle with you. We'll take you out places on the weekends when we are free. Buy you all kinds of cool shit. I mean, I understand that was a plot fall of my last relationship. You know, some women don't want that shit. You know, some women want to sit and talk, and just you to be there for them. Which, I mean, you know, not everybody's capable of that. Like women talk about love languages and shit. Like me personally, I like to be touched. You know, I like to be felt on. Uh, I like I don't want to sit and talk to you for hours, bro. I will because that's my personality. Like I'm kind of retarded in the fact that like I will sit and talk with you about Becky at work who cut you in line for the fucking hot dogs, and I will agree with you that Becky's a cunt, straight up. Like I will. Um, but like I don't I have a bad problem registering shit, and I'm very forgetful. Um, Obviously, my line of work, pugilist. I'm a pugilist. That's the scientific word for boxer or person who lets people punch him in the fucking face. Um, what I'm trying to say is, I have memory loss. I remember when I got out of the army, they did some CAT scans and shit on my brain, and they were like, "Yeah, it looks like you got a lot of damage." And I was like, "What? That's crazy, bro." Like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, "No, no." He's like, "The damage that you have is very. It lines with like football players and like boxers or karate fighters." Which cousin know what the fuck he's talking about. Because in karate, I'm here to tell you, and don't get upset with me, karate guys, because I'm one of you too. Karate is not like that, bro. Like motherfuckers don't get concussions from karate. And if they do, it's a fucking accident. Karate is like a game of tag with feet. I'll say what I said. Moving on. Yeah, I got some brain damage going on for real. When he showed me the side by side, I was like, oh shit! Like this whole right side of my brain right here is fucked up because I lean into punches and shit when I'm sparring. And that's the fucked up part. In all my fights, no one has ever really hit me. I've have right now I'm setting. I've had exactly 60 boxing matches, exactly 60, and I haven't really taken a significant lot of damage. Believe it or not, most of my damage comes from right in here. I used to. I trained with the Handshaws back in the day. Those are a rough bunch. Those boys are fucking. Those are legitimate. Those are legitimate dudes. You know what I'm saying? They're world champions and shit. So I don't feel bad about that. But those motherfuckers have fucked me up quite a bit. And then here, I got like guys in here like Chandler and Tim and Tyler, bro. And it's like I've got the most experience like boxing at least from out of everybody in here. So it's like I'm like the coach, like I'm the punching bag. So and that's it's a role that I accept and I understand. But it's rough sometimes, bro. These boys are fucking mean in here. Especially Tim Dunn, bro. Tim, if you're watching this, fuck you, cuz. My nose still feels funny. But anyways, I've went off topic like 7 times. Just don't get comfortable with people, man. Like you don't ever really. And I'm not just talking about relationships either, bro. Like you boys, you may think. Actually, I can really elaborate on this one. You may think you got a solid homie, bro. Like a solid dude, always been there for you, gives you money whenever you're short on your check, maybe got a bill coming up, you know, but you never really know someone's true intentions, dude. Like I had a good friend of mine one time, bro. He was like a real good friend. Turned out he was a snake, cuz. Like he was a legitimate snake. Also the same person I referenced earlier that I know where the fuck you live. And I mean that. Cuz moved towns like 6 times, bro. I find him every fucking time. Thinks he's slick that he can just move away. Like, I can't find you. Anyways, trying to move past my stalker shit. Anyways, you just never know, bro. Like people have such hidden intentions, and it's like no one has genuine friendships anymore. Like I have a few people, a very select amount of people that I let like into my personal life. Um, and I'll admit I'm a drunk piece of shit. I post a fuck like me on Facebook versus me on Snapchat's two different humans. 100%. Because I get wild as fuck. If you're on my Snapchat, bro, you're part of that select few people, bro. And I trust you. And I'm sorry. At the same time, I'm very sorry. Because, anyways, everybody deals with pain differently. And oh, God, what the fuck? I made the mistake of drinking a bunch of Killer Millers before I ate anything today. And I'm paying the price for that. Moving on. This fucking podcast is supposed to be about boxing, bro, but I've just been talking about personal shit. Which I guess I could branch off into anything I want. It's my fucking podcast. I can say what I want, right? Right? Everybody needs a little reality check every now and then, you know? Like, there's nobody in here boxing. It's just me drinking some beers and try to find a legal way home. So, probably have someone come get me, to be honest. Because I see like 7 of the cameras right now. But, anyways. I'm going to say it one more time and I've said it 6 times. I just don't get comfortable with people, bro. Like, people really got to go through some shit. Like, oh fuck, there's the train, cousin. People, you gotta go through some shit with people to see if if they're really there, like if they're really about you. Damn, that train is loud as a bitch. I do have a gym right beside the train track, so I guess I expect this. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, man. Dudes, chicks. I mean, people wake up every day feeling different. I know I've said that before, but I'll say it until I fucking die. Like certain people, like there are certain people in my life who have been the same constant motherfucker my entire life. Like one of those people is my grandma. Let me tell you all about my grandma. My grandma was married to a motorcycle club president, an outlaw motorcycle club president, and my grandfather. He was a hard motherfucker, and he was like a hard motherfucker in like the 70s and 80s. That tells you anything at all. Like, there are still people in this little ass town of mine that come up to me and tell me shit that I didn't even know about this motherfucker. Like, so you find a woman like that can hold it together and run a family and make up for their children, my aunts, uncles, moms, and dads, uh, shortcomings, because there was a lot of them. Holy fuck, there was a lot of them. But like, my grandma was one of the, is not one, is the most solid woman that I've ever met in my life. Regardless of whatever the fuck life throws at her, she's a fucking trooper. And I struggle to conjure that energy myself, dude, because it's fucking hard out here, dude. I'm 28, good job, good career, very successful man in other people's eyes. I'm a failure in my own eyes, but that's, you are your own worst critic, I guess, I suppose. But they just don't make them like that anymore, dude. Like, women, and I'm not saying all women, but at least in my perspective, and the women that I know and women that I've met over my 28 years of being alive, women have an unrealistic expectation for what they want out of a man. And then they meet the minimum expectation for a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know there's some women that'll be like, oh, not me, not me. I'm down for my. I understand. I don't fucking know you, or I would drop your fucking name. Anyways, uh, it's just crazy. And there are some women out there who are like diamonds in the rough, like just chugging along, doing their own thing. They're not going to the bars. They're not sleeping around. You know, they're just doing their own little thing. And I've met a couple of them, actually, yeah, that are just surprising. And then it's like you're almost like a beat dog. Like, they're nice to you and stuff, and you just don't know how to fucking take it because you've been in such a toxic relationship for so long. Uh, and it's weird. It's weird. People, that's something that everybody don't talk about, like life after. You get out of a really serious relationship with somebody, bro, like, 5, 10 year relationship, it's hard to like to level with another female or male if you're, vice versa. It's very hard to level. It's very hard to settle, if you will, because you just don't trust motherfuckers. Like, what's your end game? Like, why do you like me? You know, it's very strange, and you end up hurting people. Honestly, you hurt good people, and it's a vicious fucking cycle. You're good, everything's good. You're not good. Someone good finds you, and you're not good, and you show that version of yourself, then you fuck that person up, and the circle continues. It's a vicious, vicious cycle. Relationships in the 20th century makes me want to go to another country and see if they fuck it up too. Like, maybe Scotland's just like, you see somebody pointing them out and like, sup, and they're like, sup, and then you guys just get married and shit, and everyone's happy. Makes me wonder, bro, because the United States got it all fucked up. You got sneaky links, Snapchat, fucking motherfuckers talking through WhatsApp. I got hit with the Dropbox app. That was a good one. Taking screenshots of conversations and shit. Shit that you would never even imagine, bro. They're going to find a way, you know. It's weird. I personally never been one to cheat. At least not sober. Drunk, I'm an animal. Nobody's wife, sister, cousin, grandma, no one's safe when I hit my point, my certain point. Which I've addressed that. I've slowed it down to just beer. I don't drink liquor anymore because I realize that I'm a menace and nobody can take care of that menace. Hell, recently I tried to have sex with somebody's dad. I'm not gay either, bro. And I don't got nothing against gay people. Don't get it wrong. Uh, it's just something I needed to say. I was out and about with the boys. Decided I was going to tell a whole group of bikers I would fuck their dads. I know none of them could whoop me. So, and that's a dangerous thing too. That's what combat sports does to you, bro. Like people say, oh, the CTE shit. No, it ain't always CTE. It's a lot of just confidence, bruh. Like, I know I can whoop a lot of fucking people just based off my fight IQ. So I feel inclined to say whatever the fuck I want, you know? I mean, there's a respect level for women, of course. Oh my goodness. There's a respect level that I don't really want to cross. Like, I don't want to come across as a creeper. Like, what's up, bitch? Nice shirt. Like, I don't want to do that. But for some reason, with men, I'll look you right in your eye and say, man, those pants are too tight. I can see your balls. Or, damn, bro, that shirt's awful tight. See you hitting the gym. Nice biceps. Doesn't make me gay. And even if it does, bro, fuck you gonna do? Whoop me? Doubt it. I'm a fighting motherfucker. I don't like to get hit, but it feels like it's like once I get hit and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm here. You're not gonna knock me out. I ain't never been knocked out. Knock on some wood there, because next time I fight, somebody's gonna knock me out probably. But yeah, combat sports gives you this weird false sense of security. Like you can just say whatever the fuck you want. And thankfully, I haven't met somebody to check me yet. I'm sure it's coming eventually, especially with the dangerous lifestyle that I live. But whatever. Anyways, we'll recap this weekend. So we had these big fights coming up down in Welch, West Virginia. We'll start with Eric Mon. Eric Mon jumped into a sport that he's always wanted to do his entire life. He's always a big fan of MMA. So I finally did it. He looked fucking crazy, you know, kicking this dude so hard. He was like falling on his face. It was nuts to see. Uh, and Eric didn't even really get a lot of MMA training in here. He just kind of went out there and winged it. You know what I'm saying? He looked great, looked phenomenal. Picked dude up in the third round, slammed him, got caught in a fucking guillotine choke. Happens. Go back to the drawing board. We'll come back better. Next was Tyler Gerald, one of my very best friends. Big, giant, scary bastard. Played at Ohio State. It's terrifying there, too. Um, Made his kickboxing debut, which was bullshit, though, because we got there and they hit us with some stupid ass rule. He said, yeah, it's kickboxing, but waist up, no leg kicks, none of that shit. And I was like, okay. This is basically a boxing match. And Tyler absolutely fucking decimated the guy he boxed, which is another giant human. He was like 6'7". Big old fucking guy. But he did. I think they called it like 1 minute 26 seconds first round. It was great. Tyler looked scary. Perfect way to put a cherry on top. And then we got the Chandler's title fight, man, and some wild shit. We're in the locker room. I got him taped up, got him signed off. Everything's good to go. Where he's about to make the walk. Like it's the fight before Chandler's to make the walk for the title. And the promoter comes in, and one of the main commentators come in, and the athletic commission comes in, one of their commissioners, and they're like, yeah, he's not going to make it. I said, the fuck? Because Cuz showed up. And backstory on this, he no-showed Chandler in October. So we didn't really expect anything. But when he showed up, we showed up, cut it up with the guy. He's a pretty cool guy. Everything was fine. I was like, oh, hell yeah, this is really going to happen. He paid the money to get his license and everything. And the commissioner said, yeah, he's puking nonstop. Obviously, it's his nerves, which is kind of like a lack of experience. It is what it is. But the commissioner's like, yeah, I told him, I kind of let him work through it if he really wanted it. He just didn't. So Chandler got a forfeit victory, got the belt. Everything was cool in the end. We got a bunch of stuff coming up. Tyler wants to fight for a kickboxing title. Chandler has to defend his title. Eric, obviously, I don't know what his move is, whether he's going to go into kickboxing or boxing or go back to MMA. I'm not sure. We train for pretty much everything here. I'm fortunate enough to be able to punch, kick, and attempt to choke people out here. I've been around combat sports for over 17 years. So I'm not a master at anything, but I'm good at everything, if that makes any sense. So I just train the guys to do what they do, man, and they show up and we make statements. So I think the next card is coming up in May, and we'll see. We'll see what we can see. I've been offered 2 or 3 fights, but to be truthfully honest with nobody, I'm not in a real good mental state to fight, to be honest with everybody. Like, I had a real bad injury. I fully recovered from that injury through the miracles of science. I'll leave it at that. Uh, but yeah, I'm not in a real good mental state. You know, I go to work. I come home from work and go straight here to the gym. I'm here for 3 or 4 hours, sparring, holding mitts, doing whatever. Then I leave here and start drinking. Drink till like 4 o'clock in the morning. Sleep for 2 hours. Wake up at 6 and start it all over again. Do that every single day of my life. Till the weekends, obviously, get like my kids. I don't touch nothing when I'm with my kids. Kind of a lonely life, bro. Like, that's what I've been saying. Like, why can't dudes cry? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll start to let my emotions out a little bit sometimes, and it's like, man, I'm a bitch. It's like, man, who the fuck's gonna call me a bitch? It's me calling me a bitch. Like, I'm calling myself a bitch. When in retrospect, I'm actually a really strong person. I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot of shit that would probably break a lot of you motherfuckers. You know, I had a terrible childhood, lived all around drugs, lost very close people next to me, and somehow I'm a functioning member of society. I do drink a lot, but I'm not out here smoking crack, you know? I'm not here doing meth. Clearly, I have titties. But I don't know, man. I just want to do another podcast, and I'm lonely. There ain't nobody fucking here. Apparently, it's frowned upon to get super drunk on a fucking Monday night. Who fucking knew? So, I just want to catch you guys up on everything and do all that fucking shit. Say what's up, drink a few beers here and there. I don't know. Life has a lot of twists and turns, bruh. You just gotta be ready for them. You always gotta be ready for the twists and turns. And always remember, people wake up every day with different feelings. You know, one day you're on top of the world, you're a champion, nobody can beat you. Next day, nobody knows your name, no one knows who the fuck you are, and you have nothing. The only thing that will always stay with you is your discipline and your will. And whenever you lose your discipline and your will, that's the toughest fight of your life. And that's as real as it's gonna fucking get. So I don't want to end on a sad note, so I'm gonna tell you guys a funny story. I over the weekend I was leaving Dairy Queen, and I got myself a hot dog, dude, like a fucking nice hot dog. I'm a real big fan of hot dogs. It has nothing to do with my sexual orientation either. Like I said, I don't care if you're gay. I don't judge people. That's not my place. Um, I hate everybody equally, pretty much, except for the boys. But I was smashing this fucking hot dog, dude, and I was hungry as a bitch too. Um, and I pull up next to this old lady, and she's like staring at me. Okay, and normally I don't pay attention to fucking people. It's really none of their business what the fuck I'm putting in my mouth. So I look over at her. She's looking over at me, and she just gives me this look of fucking disgust. Like, what do? Only thing a straight, big, strong alpha man would do. I crammed the rest of this probably 5.5 inches of glizzy in my mouth, right in front of her, and I was like, oh, bit. Showed her who the fuck was boss. She immediately was like, pulled off, ran a red light. Wasn't anything coming, so she survived. But yeah, I mean, I choked because I had the gag reflexes like that. I couldn't be gay. I just know I couldn't be. I mean, you know, So kudos to those guys. But anyways, yeah. I laughed at that one real hard. Like that was one of those ones where I'm sitting at home probably like 17 or 18 minutes later and I giggle. So it was like a personal win for me. But Jesus. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. I don't think anybody's coming to the gym tonight. Just me out here drinking by myself. So I'm gonna cut out of here early. But I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank you guys for listening to me. I know this wasn't a very normal episode, but sometimes that happens when you have a little bit of Killer Miller. You know what I'm saying? Miller Lite, if you're watching this video, please sponsor me. I pay your light bill. Moving on. I'm your host, Thorin Hensley, the Heathen King himself. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the fucking next one.